Hi everyone. In this video we're going to look at the various bridge options for the Kinisi Pro and the Kinisi MAX and how to configure them correctly. The Kinisi Pro, with its single-piece forward Ds, is compatible only with the zero-eye knotted bridges. These come in several different lengths. The stitching at the ends is a performance and safety feature and must remain in place. In other words, don't cut them short. Of course, if you do have a longer bridge that you wish to shorten, simply tie the knot further from the end, but leave the stitching in place. The Kinisi Pro may be configured with one bridge or two. When configured with two bridges, the knots can be placed side by side as shown here. The knots can be stacked one on top of the other, or a combination of both. When configured using the stacked knots, it is important that they are staggered. What we mean by that is here you can see the dark green on the inside closest to the forward D with the light green on the outside. And it is the opposite on the other forward D, where we have the light green toward the inside and the dark green toward the outside. The Kinisi MAX, with its two-piece forward Ds, allows the user to interchange various hardware components. Each component is compatible with a certain bridge termination. Let's take a look at some examples. Here are some configurations. The rope adjuster is compatible only with knotted ends. The bone is compatible with sewn eye rope bridges or the webbing bridge. And the knot blocker is compatible with knotted ends, whether stacked or side by side. The Kinisi MAX may also be used with either one bridge or two. It comes supplied with the single eye bridges, the eye being used with the bone on one side and a tacked and knotted tail on the other for use with the adjuster. The rope adjuster is only compatible with the knotted ends, and the stitch tails must be present. It is not compatible with the sewn eye ends, even with stopper knots in front of them. This same logic also applies to the knot blocker. It is only compatible with the knotted ends with the stitch tails in place. It is not compatible with the sewn eye ends, even with a stopper knot in front of them. When installing the sewn eyes, the tails must be on the top side of the bridge like shown. This prevents hardware from jamming against the tail. Here we have the two-eye rope bridge with sewn eyes on either end for use with the bone. When installing a webbing bridge, ensure that the cut end faces upward. This avoids any conflict with hardware on the bridge. Here are sewn eyes on one end using the bone and stacked knots on the other using the blocker. Stacked knots on both ends using blockers. Notice how the bridge colors are configured. Stacked on one end and side by side on the other, both using knot blockers. Zero-eye bridges used with a blocker and an adjuster. And zero-eye bridges used with two adjusters. Also, with the adjuster, the ropes must be knotted separately. They may not be stacked. All of the information provided in this video is of course in your Kinisi user instructions. Be sure to read them. For more information, visit dmmwales.com.